Good day. Here we are in the basement of the 1797 Depew Tavern in High Falls, New York, and you're looking at the collections of the D&H Canal Historical Society. We just completed a move, sold our old building. It's going to really help us to finish the restoration and the new museum and Mid-Hudson Visitor Center we'll be putting in here. There's a lot going on, some interesting stuff. At some point, maybe I'll do a live broadcast from here so we can talk about some of the collections. And I'll probably shoot some virtual museum footage. For the next year, the virtual museum will no longer be a tour of our old museum, which is no longer extant, but instead we're going to talk about the exciting plans we have and what's going on here as we develop this wonderful building into our new Museum and Visitor Center. And I have a unique opportunity for one day only to show you something. Oh, not that. That's an old pizza oven that Chef John Novi put in when he had his very popular Chefs on Fire satellite restaurant, if you will, basement restaurant. But no, really what I'm looking at, what we're going to be looking at, and the unique opportunity is, hey, the floor's gone. So as the excellent Yankee Construction was working on the renovation of the building, they discovered, not surprisingly, that this room above us, which was first John Chef Novi's original kitchen, but later just his dishwashing room, the floors were shot. You know, that'll happen in a dishwashing room. Even though it was a tiled floor, everything under it was just not savable. And I just thought this was so fascinating. There you're seeing the first floor, the ceiling, and the second floor of this wonderful old structure. Let's see what we can take it from another angle here. I work out of the basement these days for a while, but eventually I'll have it's not that uncomfortable, I gotta say, except for the lack of heat. Be fine in the summer. It's very nice and cool then. But let's take a look at look at those beams. In fact, this is a more impressive one, really. Rough hewn by men with adzes and broad axes. You see those marks on the beam were made with probably some sort of an axe, and then they'd use a thing called an adze to chip off all those pieces. I get tired, you hear me say this a lot, I just get tired thinking about it. I'm a woodworker myself, and you may have caught me, I've done a few things on woodworking, both for the Canal Society and for the Ulster County Historical, where I curated their tool room, the latest exhibit there. Imagine the amount of work it took, and how many men it took to put these in place. I haven't counted how many of these beams there are, but boy, what an endeavor, and what a fascinating building. Built to last, and it's made it for over 220 years, and we're renovating it. We put a wonderful new roof on it to protect it. We're putting modern heating in it, and we're putting a new floor in this room, but I thought nobody's going to be able to see what we're looking at here, that ceiling or through this floor, again after, I'd say tomorrow. Well, we'll see the ceiling again. I don't think they're getting to that tomorrow, but I believe the floorboards go on tomorrow. And despite the fact that the heat's in but not on, waiting on the electrician, I had to shoot today, heat or no, because tomorrow this opportunity's gone. But now we're going to take you a little way. I'm still finding my way around. The ductwork just came in. I guess I can give you a quick look at the other end of the library's made it here. I'm using that all the time. More of our collections over there. That's another episode, everybody. Lots of records. You know, 50 years of corporate records are now stored on these shelves. I've done a comprehensive inventory, and I can find everything. And not only that, I found some really fascinating stuff that we'll talk about in some other episodes. Going up this servant stair, servants and slaves, there were 5 slaves. Simeon Depew owned 5 slaves. Here's now a 1827 edition put on. You want to know why? Because the D&H Canal made this place that much more prosperous. These beams in this room, let's get this recorded now. These beams were put in by Chef Novi when he bought the building in the late 60s, and they came from a barn just down the road from here that used to be on what is now the Stone Dock Golf Course. Hey, what are you doing? We're supposed to be talking about the floor. Let's go this way. It's sort of hard not to talk about this building once you're in it. So here we are, coming out here into Chef Novi's second kitchen. There's the exterior wall. And hey, it's a construction site. You'll be seeing more of this, and you'll hear more about what's going on. My excellent video editor and assistant, Courtney McNamara, will get her chance for a star turn. She'll be guiding you through some of what's going on once the heat's in. OSHA doesn't, they can't, we can't make people work in this cold. Bad enough I'm here. So here we are up on this level. Make my way over the rope so that people don't at least stop for a minute before going through the floor, huh? And here we are. Let's show you again. Looking through the floor, I just think that's so nifty. And there's a new floorboard. The State Historic Preservation Office signs off on all plans in this building. They help fund us to the tune of almost $500,000. Well, it really is $500,000. And they have to approve all of our plans, and that's good. We all have the same aim. We want this to be restored as accurately as possible. So you'll notice what the wonderful Yankee Construction is doing is putting tongue and groove. You can't really see it, nor am I going to try and show it to you. We'll be putting in boards very similar to what was there, except these are tongue and groove, so that the whole floor will be one piece. Any sort of movement will be across the whole floor. No plywood subflooring. These are almost 2-inch thick pine boards that were custom milled for us. And they'll make a floor very similar, except for the tongue and groove part. That's a little improvement to what was there. And it will eventually, when finish in a little age, match what's in the rest of the house. Very important for it to match. So now you look up at the ceiling, you can see that obviously that plastic PVC waste pipe, some of that will get torn out, putting in all new plumbing since we've got it open. Hate to keep any old plumbing and have a problem after we're done with this, right? This little room would have been one of the family's private rooms before first 20 years of its existence. This was the family's home as well as a tavern. And then they were so successful that Simeon buys another property the other side of the falls, and he moves there. And then this becomes a full-time tavern until the D&H Canal Company buys it from Simeon's son Jacob on March 12th of 1850. So in the ensuing episodes here of our virtual museum, you'll get to see how we transform this into our modern museum. We'll get to see the repair work, we'll see the new stuff being built, we'll see exhibits being put in. So stay tuned, join us on D&H TV, because we'll have plenty of what I hope you find as interesting as I do, plenty of great content coming your way. Oh, here's one more little thing. I don't imagine that's going to be staying, in fact, I'm sure it's not. But it's a chalkboard that Chef Novi used. This was the original kitchen, then later the dishwashing room, and notes to the staff and the like, perhaps, I don't know, the specials? I don't know. We'd have to talk to somebody who was there. Kevin Zraly, we'll have to get you, the famous sommelier. I'm going to get him on video somewhere in here in the house, because he lived here and made his... So those of you who follow us closely will know from our wine tasting, Kevin was our excellent guide and for that wonderful wine tasting. I think this is a really good spot to say goodbye for now, and please join us again on D&H TV.